I'm a happily married man, and my wife is my best friend. We are supposed to be a team and have each other's backs and best interests at heart. It's a cliché. It's cringe, but it's true. However, something has came up and it has me doubting and looking at her differently. I want to know AITA for being upset with her for all this. Long story short, about a year ago, my wife asked me to sell a spare vehicle that I was doing nothing with to her brother. His fiancée and him shared a vehicle, and it wouldn't do since they were moving to another state. Very reliable. Nothing flashy. KBB at $5,000 to $6,000. She knew that I never used it. I definitely didn't need the money and am still not in a position where a loss would hurt me or matter to me. I didn't want to do it because if something did happen, I didn't want to be blamed or guilted or whatever. She assured me that wouldn't happen. He was a stand-up guy, etc., etc. Went ahead and did it. Huge discount. $1,500 opposed to KBB. She wasn't pushing me to sell it, but I could tell that she really, really wanted me to. And her brother and I were on pretty good terms back then. I even went ahead and said they could make payments due to moving expenses being pretty heavy. They offered to come up with something before the moved on June 10th. I said if they did that, then they wouldn't have to make a first payment until August. They came up with $250 and moved to Tennessee. Now from June to August he ignores me. Normally he used to respond to my calls or texts almost immediately. So when he ignored my 4 or 5 texts. Nothing aggressive, mind you. Just casual, oh hey, how's it going out there? Or, hope everything is going well. Haven't heard from. I became a little hesitant, but not concerned. After all, I truly didn't and don't need the money. Then I find out he's talking to my wife pretty regularly, but ignoring me. He finally answers me at the end of August and says he will send me something by the end of the week. Well, the end of the week comes. He continues to ignore me. August turns into November. He's continually talking to my wife. She is talking with him like nothing is wrong. Talking to him like everything is fine. Never mentioning me or the situation with me once. Finally, I've had enough. I told him if he can't make the payments, I'll take the car back because my dad's friend will give me $6,300 cash on the spot. No hard feelings, but I'll just take the car back. He responds with sunshine and rainbows and apologies and promise after promise. I explain it's not the money, but the principle. I just needed communication and a little appreciation for doing a favor I never wanted to do that none of his friends or family would have done. He swears he will get me something by the end of the week. Promise, excuse, promise, excuse. The end of the week comes, then the month, then the end of the next month. My wife continues to talk to him as happy and as normal as ever. I lose it on him. He explodes and says some things he could never take back. The argument turned into something that would end our relationship forever. Well, all this time he's been coming back to Colorado almost every month. So I ask when is he coming back so he can bring the car. He says, I'll be a year or 2. At the time I'm working a lot and can't just drop everything and head out there. I go to get it transported. It'll be about $1,900 to do so. I make arrangements with him to do it, and then on the day of transport, he hides the vehicle. I had to pay half up front and lose out on the money. I explain to my wife I'm done, and he's out of my life forever. I also find out that either before I said I'd take the car back or after, he trashed the vehicle, wrecked the hell out of it, trashed it inside, fucked it all up. I found out that my wife knew about that. I found out that since then she has kept along with talking to him and never one time getting upset with him or yelling at him or even just mentioning it once to him. I then find out that 2 months or so he drove the car back here. She not only knew about it but also went and saw him. She knows how hard I've been trying to get it back from him. I won't call the cops. Just can't. I'm not that guy. But she saw him. Saw him in it. Didn't tell me. Continues talking to him. And now I'm doubting everything and seeing her differently and am more than hurt and upset. She says I'm overreacting and being dramatic. What do? AITA? Am I overreacting? WTF.